Chicago 2014. In one of Chicago's working-class neighborhoods, a crime shook the entire community. But to understand what happened, we must go back years earlier, to 2006, when the story of Michael and Emily began. Michael, a 24-year-old man, was born and raised in Chicago, though his family had roots in another state. His family was peculiar, 5 siblings, each vastly different from the other. Michael suffered from severe vision impairment, a hereditary condition that also affected 2 of his brothers. Despite his challenges, he was always searching for a job that suited his condition. In 2006, Michael decided to get married. He chose a woman named Emily, a distant relative of his family, who lived in another city. She was 21, beautiful, and had dropped out of school after high school, waiting for the right man to marry. Her main condition for marriage was that her husband must not be from her hometown. She wanted a fresh start somewhere far away. Strangely, Emily had never heard of Michael before, even though his family lived near hers. He wasn't well liked, and people generally felt uneasy around him. So when Michael announced his intention to marry Emily, his family was shocked and asked, "Why Emily? How do you even know her?" But his answer was even stranger than the question itself. "I love her." How could he love her when he had never seen her? He only knew her name. Michael traveled to Emily's city and proposed, but her family rejected him because of his vision impairment. The shocking part was Emily's reaction. She eagerly accepted the proposal. The question was, why Emily? Her response seemed logical to her family. Michael was from a different city, which suited her. He seemed weak-willed, easy to control. He would treat her like a queen, as he would never believe a woman like her had chosen him. Although her family had initial reservations, they eventually agreed, and the wedding took place within 3 months. Emily moved in with Michael in his modest apartment in a Chicago neighborhood. He was overjoyed and willing to do anything to keep her happy, while she knew exactly how much control she had over him. 3 years later, they had 2 children, and everything seemed normal. But Michael started noticing changes in Emily's behavior. She was acting strangely, and he had a gut feeling that she was involved with another man. Though his vision was poor, he could sense that something was off. Whenever he tried to confront her, she reminded him that she married him despite his condition. That was enough to silence him. He couldn't accuse her of anything. He still couldn't believe that someone as beautiful as her had chosen him, and he was terrified of losing her. 3 more years passed, and they now had 4 children. Michael was particularly attached to his eldest daughter, who had just turned 4. One day, she told him something that shook him to his core. "Uncle David comes over a lot when you're not home." David, Michael's older brother, was 10 years his senior, married with children. Since Michael's wedding, David had never accepted the idea that a woman like Emily would choose his younger brother. And now Michael's own daughter was confirming that David frequently visited when he wasn't around. Michael tried talking to Emily, but she denied everything, and even instructed the children not to mention David's visits again. Although Michael was convinced something was going on, he stayed silent. He had 3 reasons. 1. He didn't want to destroy his family for the sake of his children. 2. He was still madly in love with Emily. 3. He didn't know how to confront his brother. A whole year passed, and his suspicions only grew stronger. Then one day, his daughter told him that David had been at the house and had hidden in the closet when Michael unexpectedly returned home. Michael walked into the bedroom and began feeling around the bed. As he grabbed the blanket, a hand shot out from underneath it and wrapped around his throat, trying to strangle him. At that moment, Michael screamed for help. David emerged from the room and said, "Don't expose us!" But how could Michael stay silent? He had been living a lie for 8 years. What made it worse was that Emily made no effort to fix things. Instead, she packed her bags and left for her family's home, claiming that Michael had mistreated her. 2 days later, Michael traveled there, not to divorce her, but to beg for her forgiveness and ask her to return. Emily knew how much power she had over him, so she set strict conditions for her return. He was not allowed to come near her. He had to let her do whatever she wanted. Shockingly, Michael agreed, and they returned to Chicago. But as time passed, jealousy and rage consumed him, especially when she demanded that he sleep in a separate room. Tension escalated until the night of July 7, 2014. That night, Michael asked to be with his wife. She refused. She walked into the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and threatened to kill herself if he came near her. He tried to calm her down, but instead, he took the knife and stabbed her twice in the abdomen. As she collapsed to the floor, she was still looking at him, but he couldn't see her expression clearly. He could only feel the weight of the world crumbling around him. Their children ran into the room, screaming. The neighbors rushed in. The police arrived. Emily was taken to the hospital, but she was already gone. When Michael stood before the investigators, he couldn't answer one simple question. Why? As for David, he denied everything and remained silent when asked why he had betrayed his own brother. Michael was not just blind in sight, he was blind in dignity and self-respect as well.